Almost we all are familiar with this device. Yes, this is a mobile phone. Most of us use it in our daily life. Though mobile phone can be used for various purposes such as playing game, using social media, watching movie and many more. But the main purpose of this phone is to communicate with others who is not physically around you, right? Who would have thought that one day this small device could change the way we communicate with people? We can just dial a number and talk with anyone anywhere in the world. How it even possible without having any physical connection? So in this video, we are going to talk about how this fascinating technology works. So please stay tuned. Let's say you want to speak with your friend who lives in a nearby city. So normally you dial your friend's number and speak with them right away, right? So if you notice, there would be few stages before you hear back from your friend. So the moment you dial your friend's number, you will see some beep tone. After that, you might be hearing the ringing. So the first thing we do, we dial the number. The number, it is not just a random number, it's a unique number. You and your friend can't have the same number. Every country has their own phone number format. If you are from India, you will know that it has 10 digits number and mostly start with 6, 7 or 8 or 9. Each phone number broadly divided into two parts. The first 5 digits signify the network operator, area details and many more. The second 5 digits signify a user identification. For example, you and your friend should have unique identities, which can be identified by this last 5 digit. So once you dial the number, the mobile will generate a digital signal with all your information, such as your operator details, area details, and many more. It will also add the receiver details to that signal. If you don't know what the digital signal is, just a high level, it's a representation of 0 and 1. For example, your phone number consists of 10 digits. So each has their digital representation version as well. So let's say your number starts with 9. The digital representation of 9 is 1001. The same way, there will be a digital representation for other digits as well. Once it's converted, the digital signal goes to mobile's antenna. The antenna converts the digital signal into an electromagnetic wave, which is a radio wave, and it can travel through the air. Now, digital signal cannot travel through the air as it's a representation for machine. That's why it has to convert it into a radio wave. However, radio wave cannot travel much distance due to the environmental interference or obstacles such as building, rains, and more. For example, if you are inside a room, you can't hear much noise than outside, right? That's because it's surrounded by the walls, which is stopping the wave to travel further. The same case for the radio wave as well. That's why we need a cell tower in between to communicate with others. Every local area is divided into multiple cells, and each cell has a tower. If there is no tower in a cell, often it's called a dead zone area. Sometimes you might be experiencing an issue that the mobile network is not available in certain areas. It is possible that there is no cell tower nearby, so you are inside a dead zone area. Every local area can have one or more mobile switching center, also known as MSC, under which multiple cell towers are registered, and all those are connected through fiber cable. Every mobile switching center has access to the home location register, also known as HLR. This is nothing but a database which stores all your information. Let's look at how they help to connect the call between the caller and the receiver. Remember, the mobile antenna generates a radio wave to send it to the mobile tower. The antenna searches for nearest cell tower and sends that signal. Once nearby tower receives that signal, it collects all details from that signal such as operator, area code and others by decoding the radio wave into a digital wave. The tower sends those details through the fiber cable to the nearby mobile switching center to validate the data. Once the mobile switching center receives a request from the cell tower, it has to validate whether it's an authenticated user or it has permission to call or it has enough balance or it is under roaming and a lot of other things. Thus, it connects to the nearby HLR to find those details. The HLR maintain all user information. So basically, when you go and buy a SIM, it takes certain time to activate, right? So during that time, the user details and subscription plan and many more other details get stored in the HLR. The HLR even provides the current user location with the nearest cell tower details. There can have many HLR based on the number of subscribed users under a network operator. Now, each cell tower has a base station responsible for creating multiple radio channels through which the tower can transmit the signal, so which finally reaches the receiver's mobile. The mobile antenna then converts that radio wave into a digital wave. Once the phone receives a signal, it generates a notification such as ringing to alert the user of incoming call. Once the user answers the call, a two-way communication channel is established between a caller and the receiver. The conversation now takes place in real time. Even if caller or receiver move from one place to another, the receiver mobile switching center can detect the nearby tower through the HLR and send the information to the caller mobile switching center so that the channel can be adjusted without disconnecting the call. So far, we have talked about how the signal reaches from caller to the receiver, right? But how can our voice can be sent through the signal? So when we speak, we create a sound wave which goes through the microphone. So based on our voice, pitch, tone, the microphone generates an analog wave which is then converted into a digital wave by a chip called ADC. So it's an analog to digital converter. So after converting into the digital signal, it goes to the antenna and converts into a radio wave. Then it transmits into the air and reaches to the receiver phone, as explained in the process earlier. After reaching the receiver's mobile antenna, the antenna converts that radio wave back to analog and generates a sound wave that we hear. This is what happens when you talk to someone on the phone. Next time when you call someone, definitely it will remind you about this fascinating technology works behind it. I hope you have learned something from this video. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Please leave your comment if you like or dislike the video.